morning, everybody. Welcome to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment, the first live daily photo show on YouTube every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, the show where I talk way too fast and piss off a lot of people in the comments often. But hey, what you gonna do? It's the way I do it. So good morning, everybody. For those of you watching live, welcome. It's lovely to see you here. Nice, good-sized live audience rolling in today. It's Amazon Prime Day, which is very exciting for those who are itching to purchase something cool and new. I'm watching one that is going to actually go live in the middle of this show. It is for the Mevo, which you know that I'm a big fan. I've been using that a lot lately. Really enjoying the little Mevo. And it is, I don't know what the deal is yet, but it starts, the Prime Deal Day thing goes live in 27 minutes and 26 seconds. So I will assuredly be clicking on that link when it's live, and I'll tell you if it's a good deal or not. We'll see what it is. I mean, I guess anything's a good deal if you're really interested in buying it. But if it's a really good deal, it might be one of those things you go, oh, now I need it. We shall see. We shall see. So again, good morning, everybody. If you're watching live, do be sure to participate in the comments. If you have questions while we're going, you can just at PhotoJoseph in front of them. We're doing an unboxing today, which means we are going to do a secondary commentary. So if you have questions that are not related to the product at hand, try and hold on to those questions and throw those up afterwards when we jump into the commentary section, so we can kind of break these things out a little bit. Makes it easier and better for everybody watching who's only here to see about this. And of course, if you do have a comment, make sure you put at PhotoJoseph in front of that as well. Also, just before I forget about it, if you haven't yet signed up at Patreon, do that, please. If you're enjoying the show, if you're watching this on a regular basis, there's lots of ways to support the show. The Patreon, did it come up? Did it pop up and it's gone already? I'm gonna hit it again. The Patreon thing, which should come up here, photojoseph.com/Patreon or patreon.com/PhotoJoseph. I think either of those work. It's a great way to help support the show, and I really appreciate that. So there it is. There she is. It's right there. That's the one. All right, so let's do this thing, shall we? We've got here a new toy. I told you about the toy yesterday. I actually hadn't unboxed it from the shipping box yesterday yet, so I didn't plan on doing an unboxing because I thought that this was going to be like a used trade show stock. Blackmagic sent this to me, very, very kind of them, to check out and evaluate and use and integrate in my studio and tell them, you know how it works. We're going to have a little communication about it. And I'm super excited to get into this. And I thought that I was going to be getting a trade show stock, just one that's been used at trade shows. It's just wrapped in bubble wrap. But I opened the box yesterday after yesterday's show, and it was brand new and had cellophane on it. The only reason it doesn't have the cellophane anymore is because I had to take it off to take a picture of the box. So this is a brand spanking new Blackmagic Studio Camera 4K. And this is going to get integrated into my studio out there for this live show, and I am crazy excited to get into this thing. So I thought, well, let's just do the unboxing on the show and see what it is. So first of all, before I even open it, what is this thing? So you will recall, and I think I've already linked to it, but we'll link to it up here. There are, I have a series of videos about this studio, this live studio, and how it's assembled and all the gear that's in there. Blackmagic is a huge part of this studio right now, and up until this point, everything in here is stuff that I have purchased. So I have spent a lot of money on gear to make this whole thing work. And it's not just for this show. I mean, I do a lot of production out of here, as many of you know. But the switcher, my big ATEM switcher up there, is Blackmagic. The camera that we're looking at right now is a Blackmagic camera. And it is essentially this camera without the screen. So it's the Blackmagic micro studio camera, I think is what it's called. I gotta get these names right. Anyway, all it is a body and sensor. It has no LCD, it has no display on it, so you can't see the image. It doesn't even have an LCD to control the menus. You have to hook up an external screen or monitor to be able to do any controls, any adjustments on it at all. But it means that it's a tiny, tiny little brick of a camera. I probably should just bring it up here. Let's just do that real quick. Let me bring up the Blackmagic website. I'll bring this guy up. And it is a really, really nice little camera for this type of thing. It is tiny. It's pushed up against the wall, taking up virtually no space at all. Here we go. Blackmagic Micro Cinema Camera. Is that the 4K one? Here, this is the one that I've got that you're looking at me on right now. Well, not right now, because now you're looking at the computer. But this is the camera. That's what I've got back there. So it's an itty-bitty little thing. All you do, you put your micro Four Thirds lens on it, and you can even put a battery on it if you need to. I don't, because mine's plugged into the wall. And you've got this itty-bitty little thing that you can stick anywhere. It's fantastic. And the big, huge advantage, the main reason that I'm using this camera over any other camera up there is because it has SDI in and out. And that SDI in and out allows me to get real-time audio. That is completely not important if you're not self-monitoring, but I am monitoring on my own show as I talk. I'm monitoring myself in here, and so that means I have to be in sync. I cannot have audio delay through the process or it kills everything, mainly my brain. So that is the primary reason that I went with that camera. And now that that camera is in place, now I want to add a whole bunch more of them. So this is the second one. So what this guy is the same idea. It's that little camera, but it has a big 10-inch screen on it. So it's like having a big old iPad slapped onto your screen, a monster screen. You can see it's got these big buttons for control, and this is designed for studio use. This is designed for a camera operator, and that's going to be Ryan. He's going to be learning how to use this. For when I'm doing shoots, doing live training stuff out in the main studio, we'll have this on a tripod with wheels, and he can move it around, and we're going to put a motorized zoom lens on it, and he'll be able to control the zoom lens with a rocker, and all that stuff works together, so you have this full-on live broadcast camera, which is, frankly, a phenomenal stinking thing for what the price is. And what is the price in this thing? I always forget. It's like, here we go. Let's bring this back up. This is the 4K version, Blackmagic Studio Ultra HD. There you go, $14.95 for this guy. So this is, and it's $12.95 for the one without the screen. So it's not a huge price difference, but it's a big physical size difference, obviously. So if you need the little one to stick in the corner, then you want the little one. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? I'm excited about this guy. So that is what this is for. That's how it's being used. And let's see what's in the box. So Blackmagic, welcome. I love this. They always put their manuals on SD cards. It's very nice. It's so funny. You always know when you're opening a Blackmagic product because the first thing you get to is a slew of adapters for for everywhere in the world. They're an Australian company and they think globally, which is a very nice thing. Let's get these guys back in here. I don't need all this out. I will need you guys later, but we don't need it right now. We're not going to actually plug it in today because that would be far too complicated to do on this show, but we will do that once I get this fired up another day. All right, get in there. What are these? Little screws. I have no idea what those are for. I guess we'll find out. And let's get this out of here. All right. Okay, we don't need this. It's more. Let's just get that out of the way. Put that down here. Try not to drop and break anything today. And make sure we don't. Oh, here it is. All righty. There. So how's that? Imagine the camera that you're shooting with today with the screen this big on it. There's the camera. There's the lens mount. There's the Micro Four Thirds sensor. And look at this thing. This is an incredible, incredible way to work. So you're shooting a live production, and it's like taking any big display, whether it's something like an Atomos recorder or just any LCD display, and having this really high quality, really monstrous screen attached to your camera. So let's see, what else has this got? All around it, look at all these quarter 20 ports. So you got 4 on the top, 3 down the left and right side, and so the big 5/8/16 on the bottom. So you know, obviously your big tripod mount there. Mount stuff all over this thing. That's great. So I love that. So if you want to mount microphone, lights, whatever you're going to do. In my case, let me see. What am I going to need to mount on there? I'll probably mount a forward-facing screen. Yeah, that's good. I'll probably do that. I'll probably mount a forward-facing screen so that I, as the on-camera talent, word used very loosely, obviously, can see what's going on. So I can see myself and know that I'm in frame or know what Ryan is zoomed in on. Because that's the thing, right? So Ryan will have the ability to zoom in and out on stuff, and I want to be able to see what he's looking at, what the audience is saying. So I know if I want to say, hey, go wide or something, I'll be able to do that. So we'll have some kind of monitor. It'll either be mounted here or just attached to something else. So you got full-size XLR inputs. We've got so quarter-inch microphone and quarter-inch headphone inputs. There's a LANC port, the LANC port, and that is what's going to allow us to control motorized zoom lens. And it just so happens, I'm trying to do this without yanking things out of the wall. Come here. It just so happens, talk about lucky coincidence. My very first Micro Four Thirds camera, which I've told this story before, was the Olympus OMD EM, what is this thing called? EM1512? EM5, there you go. OMD EM5. So this is my first Micro Four Thirds camera. And it came with, the kit lens that it came with is this Olympus 12 to 50. So that's a 24 to 100 millimeter equivalent. Not super fast, it's an f3.5 to 6.3, but it's a motorized zoom. This motorized zoom means that I can put it on here. And obviously this isn't plugged in yet, so I can't do it. But this allows, that look a little, huge thing, little baby lens, will allow Ryan to, with the thumb dealio, motorized zoom the lens in and out. And that is crazy cool. And that's what we want for live production, because you want your zooms to be nice and smooth. Obviously, he'll be able to reach up there and crank it if you really needed to, but the idea is that you have nice, smooth zooms in and out while you're moving around the scene. So let's see, you also have on here a whole bunch of buttons. So you got focus is good. Iris control, push to talk. So in this environment, we won't use the push to talk, but you could. So that would be so he could talk to people on air, people in production, whatever. Program LUT. You can load LUTs on this thing? I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Does it mean to shoot some, no, it doesn't shoot log. I don't know what that's for. Anyway, there's a LUT button on there. And then just your controls, up, down, arrow controls. The whole point is that you have these nice, big, huge buttons on here so that if you need to make changes while you're live, you're not fiddling with a bunch of little controls. You're not reaching around to the camera trying to figure out, wait, where, I think that button was, is it the third button to the right? Is it here? It's just nice, big, huge buttons here. So that is super, super handy, super awesome. All right, oh, the other side, what do we have here? Optical in and out, audio, optical in and out. Then you've got SDI in and out, so it's full-size SDI. Oh, good. Well, that means I don't have to go buy mini cables again. The little camera has mini SDI ports. I had to go buy special cable stacks. I didn't have them. This doesn't need to do that. So, interesting point, it has SDI in and out, and I will need to run both of those into the switcher because that's what will give me the ability to control it, not from here, but from the switcher itself. And part of what you can do with there is do your color shifts. So if we do, let me pull this up here so I can do this without breaking anything. You may recall we've looked at this before. So you're now looking at the ATEM switching interface. And so these are all the different cameras that are in here. The BMD camera, that's the one that you see me on. This has full color control. So these tiny little tweaks in here are what make the image look the way it does here. So if I go in here and let me see if I can do this without screwing anything up. I'm going to go in here just to kind of demo this real quick. Let's go back to this. I'm going to copy the settings so that I can paste them back in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it back to me, and then I'm going to move the lift again. Oh, I can do it like this. Here, I can go Mac picture in picture. There we go. Let's do this. And then if I adjust, so there you go. So you see the colors changing on there. There's the lift and gamut. I can do color adjusting. I can design a look, whatever I'm going to do, directly in here. And then, so let me paste my original settings back in. There we go, back to my right look. And then I can take the settings that I've designed for this camera and copy and paste them into this camera to have a consistent look. Now, the lighting out there is going to be different, so the settings for this may not make sense out there, but the fact that you can do that is pretty awesome. So if I was to put more of these in here, which I really do want to do, not the big ones, but the little ones, I want to have one that's up top, top down. I want to have it over the shoulder. You know, it's, a guy can dream. Then I would put that same color look on all of them and keep a consistent look throughout, which is really, really cool thing to be able to do. So anyway, so that ability to control the color on the camera through the ATEM software, which is obviously talking to the ATEM switcher up on the roof here, is over that SDI path going back. That's why you need to have two SDI cables. Anyway, just little kind of little bit of extra info in there. But this is bitchin'. This thing is so cool. Now, what is this thing? There's, oh, okay. So that's what those things are for. All right, so this is a big sunshade. Well, that's handy actually, because you can see that in the picture here. I actually didn't know if that came with it or not. That means we could actually roll, because I'll make sure the cables are long enough, we could roll this outside, out the back. And if I wanted to do a demo outside in the sun, could do it in the back, just as long as I have long enough cables, roll this thing out. This thing's got a sunshade on it. And now I know what those little posts were for when I was pulling out of the top there. These little guys here. Tiki, that must be what these are. There's to attach that to this. Wow, oh, that is so cool. Oh man, this is gonna be so much fun. Yeah, right on, so there you go. That's what that is. Anything else in the box? Doesn't look like it. Okay, well there you go. There's your unboxing. Nice and simple, not a whole lot of stuff in there. You got your power, obviously there's a power supply in the top of the lid. The controls, nice big huge screen, tally light on the front and back, so that means that if you're a camera operator and someone else is doing the switching, you know when you're live because you got a light on here that lights up. Likewise, the talent knows which camera is live because it's got that tally light. There you go, nice big bright light on there, so you know, oh, that's the camera that's on. So especially handy if you're on a set where you got multiple cameras pointing at you and you got to know if you're looking at, so Bob, so Mary, you got to know which camera you're looking at. Okay, oh, I'm so excited. This is really neat. this is a great, great product. So thank you, Blackmagic, for sending this over. I will do you proud and tell you everything that I can that I think about it, and do lots and lots of shows with it and about it and on it and so on. Oh yeah, and it's Ultra HD, by the way. This is all 4K. I still can't do my live show in 4K. Well, can't. I've done it before. I don't have, actually, yeah, I don't have the ability to do it right now. What I realized at some point was that it's not just a case of reconfiguring the software, which I can get 4K all the way up to right before it hits the Mac. The converter that I have to go from my video signal to the Thunderbolt signal, which is what feeds into the Mac, is only HD. So I have to get a new converter for that to be able to go 4K. But you know, baby steps, one step at a time. Okay. Excellent. That's that. Let me take a quick scroll through the comments here and see what is going on, see if there's anything related to this that we want to address. And then after that, we will jump out to the breakout to do all types of other questions. Before I do jump into this comment, so just real quick, couple of quick reminders. So gh5training.com, obviously, if you are a GH5 user, please do check that out. We want to sell as many of these as we can because it helps production. This thing is expensive to produce, but it's coming together. And I see there's a question about this. So, okay, someone's just asking right now, John McCable, perfect timing, off topic, what's the status of the GH5 training? So the status is that, the last chapter to record was the vlog chapter, which was the most complex chapter. And most complex because it's just a real brain twist to try and get this into a way that I can explain it that doesn't take half an hour and then I'm not rambling and so on. So that was the last chapter. I came in Saturday and again Sunday to record. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw my complaint on Sunday that the freaking gardener showed up outside running leaf blowers and killed my recording. I was in here last night recording it. I got 2 more videos on that done. I have 2 videos left for that chapter, and then that is all the primary shooting. I have to do an intro and outro, but I do that at the very end after everything's done. That's obviously a much easier thing to do. But if you're curious, I don't do the intro or outro until the end, so that in the intro I can say, in this course we're going to talk about yada 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 yada. And because the structure of the course has changed as it was being recorded, but that always happens, I know that I record the intro at the very end. So, but the intro and outro is easy. I actually script those so that I'm reading them off a teleprompter. It's ironically, that is the hardest thing for me to do, is do any kind of intro and outro. Even on the individual videos, I can go through all kinds of technical stuff, roll through it, no problem, no hiccups. Okay, that's a lie, there's some hiccups, but for the most part, get through it really clean. And then I get to the ending, and I'm like, so now that you've seen this, you know how to, and that outro kills me every time. So I know for the main intro and outro, I just write it and I teleprompt it. It makes my life a lot easier. Anyway, so long answer to that is, the question is, the last videos are now being recorded. Like I said, I did 2 more last night. I got 2 more to do. I'm going to see if I can get in tonight, if I can get a babysitter. If not, maybe tomorrow night. And everything else is in editing. So there's another batch that's going to get uploaded today. I just got those from my editor last night. So another batch of videos is going to upload today. I don't know what chapter it is. I have to look. And everything else is in process of editing and audio sweetening. So we're coming along. It is coming together. It's, it's behind schedule, admittedly, but this is part of pre-ordering, right? That's why you got a discount on the pre-order, because you knew that you were getting part of it and it would trickle in. It took a little longer than expected, but we're nearly done. I'm super proud of it. It is coming together really, really nicely. So very long answer to that question. All right, next up, real quick, don't forget about this as well. Come to Mexico with me. You know you want to. PhotoJoseph.com/workshops. Go check that out. We're having a beautiful, lovely, delicious workshop, and I do mean delicious quite literally, because we're going to eat some really good food in Mexico, and that is coming up later this year in the fall, in October. So PhotoJoseph.com/workshops. Do check that out. And, last one I'll throw up at you, and then we'll jump into the quick questions, was this. I did this live session on Affinity Photo iOS yesterday. This was yesterday afternoon, so if you missed the live session, this video will be available for streaming later on today. I think that it is currently uploading right now, so probably within an hour or 2 that will be up there. So to get that, just go to photoapps.expert/live, and you'll see that right at the top, because it's, of course, going to be the newest content. And if you're watching this later, then it's not the newest content. Just click on the live button, and you'll see it there, or click on the app drop-down and look for Affinity Photo. Okay, let's scroll through the comments real quick, see if there's anything in here that we need to address for this, and then we'll move on. If it isn't, we'll move on to the main question. Looking for the PhotoJoseph's. So here, we'll just put up a comment split right now. Trevor says, I've always wondered why those cameras come with that with that salad bar sneeze guard attached. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about the big sunscreen. Bart says, is that Ryan Green on the side of the box? That is not Ryan Green. That is not. It should be. It could be. You never know. It's not Ryan. Ryan, you have a secret life you haven't told me about. The royalty checks you must be getting. Ryan says, wouldn't that be great? All right, come on, let's see here. Yep, everybody, reminder from Ryan to stick a PhotoJoseph in your comment. That way I can see it, absolutely. And there was your question. John, we got that. Oops, and then it pops off as it tends to do. Ben 5 Shuttle. Ron Howard and Ridley Scott, look out. It's the start of the Linashki and Green productions. Ha ha. Funny, funny. Okay. Alrighty, so let's wrap this thing up, and then we're going to come back for the commentary section where we can ask anything we want. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check the Prime thing. Is it time yet? Is it time for the Prime? Starts in 7 minutes. Okay, so that'll come up during the commentary. All right, guys, we'll see you back here in just a moment. Back at you.